Welcome to the Spotlight Series podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. Man, I got the dopest gig in the world. I get to have conversations with entertainers and entrepreneurs and listen to their inspiring stories. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and listen on all podcast platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you. What's good, world? This your boy Slick Sean with the Spotlight Series podcast. I got a special guest right here, a brother that I call a friend, a homie, David Joins, aka DJ Outlet. He is associated with Too Hot Radio. He got his hands in a little bit of everything in the multimedia section. So we're gonna chop it up with DJ Outlet and talk about what he got going on. What's up with you, fam?
What's good? What's good, Sean? Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to, being here and, talking about whatever we want to discuss.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm glad you decided to jump on with me. Thank you for taking the time I know you're busy, man. You got a busy schedule, you got kids and
yeah. Hands definitely full.
Yep. For sure. It'd be like that, don't it?
Oh yeah.
So first thing I want to ask, man, is what do you do? Like, tell everybody, what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So right now I am the program director and COO for Too Hot Radio, Too Hot Media. And basically, like Sean just said, I got my hands in a little bit of everything. Like when it comes to just the radio station as a whole, and as far as the operations of the company, I got my hands in everything from the marketing to the promotions to HR to, working with interns to working with artists, so, I got my hands tied up in a whole lot of everything. But mainly on a day-to-day, what I do is just, pretty much just oversee the company and, whatever live events that we're pushing or whatever promotions that we're pushing. I pretty much kind of oversee everything and kind of just get the ball rolling and get everybody going in the right direction.
Yeah, so I see 16 years, man, you've been at it, man. What gives you that longevity, the motivation to just keep pushing and doing what you do?
Yeah, well, I think just for me, I think I was blessed at an early age to really know what I wanted to do in life. Like a lot of people, when they graduate from high school, they have no clue. So they try to go to college and figure it out, or they may go from job to job and just try to figure it out. For me, it just hit me early. Like it hit me before I graduated high school. Like I definitely want to be in this media space, music, live events. I was excited about that ever since I was young. It's like a part of me. It's like, why would I cut my left hand off? Like that's a part of me. That's how I feel about what I'm doing. It's just, so I have no choice to have the longevity. Long as I'm still living, still breathing, this is a part of my life. This is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you had a vision, you had a plan, you went with it. So a lot of people, man, they don't figure it out until a certain point. So it's always good to see people that know what they want to do and just go for it, go straight to it. So tell everybody how to follow you. What's your IG handle?
So my IG is DJ Outlet Radio on Instagram. I'm also very influential in the posts that are going out on Too Hot Radio as well. So that's at Too Hot Radio. So I'm always, kind of in the loop of what's going on with that.
So tell me more about Too Hot Radio. How long have you been involved with Too Hot Radio, and what's the day-to-day ins and outs of what you do at Too Hot Radio?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I've been involved with Too Hot Radio from day one, since we actually rebranded. Before Too Hot Radio, it was called multiple different things. We called it Worldwide Radio, and we called it Hot 24/7, something like that. But then in 2012, like this is right when Instagram had first started getting popping and everything. We just, we came up collectively with the name Too Hot Radio. And, we just been pushing it ever since. But when it comes to just as far as like the day-to-day stuff, it's just pretty much, we always keep some events popping. That's pretty much, what we do. I like for people to think of Too Hot Radio as like the Live Nation, but for independent artists. So like once you become a major artist, you get on a certain level, you want to start doing touring. So normally you get with like a Live Nation and they set you up to do shows and stuff like that. But, you know, we do that for the independent artists and the unsigned artists that are starting out. So, you know, every month or so, there's always a festival coming up or a show or a award show or something that, you know, we like to piggyback off of just to, you know, because as a Too Hot Radio, we're also a ticket seller through Too Hot Tickets. We sell tickets for like all the different award shows, concerts, like anything you name it, from Beyonce to Drake. You know, we sell tickets to that. So by us taking what we do with the ticket sales and then merging that and creating our own events with independent artists, it just allows, you know, everybody to get some exposure and some promotion, and it creates a platform. So that's what I'm doing every single day, figuring out, all right, how can we make this event better? How can we learn from it? How can we get ready for the next event and just keep it pushing?
No doubt. You're definitely doing your thing, because that's how I've seen both sides of it, because I've seen it as an artist. I don't know if you remember this, but I actually went to one of your events. I performed at a showcase. I want to say it was in Macon. It was probably like 3 or 4 years ago, before I started working with y'all in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And then I saw that you were doing the interns in 2020, and I signed up. And I just want to let everybody know, if Too Hot Radio, if you see something about Too Hot Radio asking you to you know, do an intern or something, sign up, man, get some experience, and you might get a job.
Yeah,
uh,
sure. Yeah,
I
you
know
listen.
from personal experience that, you know, working with Too Hot Radio, just from first I was an artist at an event, then I was interning with Too Hot Radio, and now I still work with Too Hot Radio on some consulting and things like that. So it's love, man. I really enjoy working with y'all and everything that you do.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. Yeah, you brought that. That's a throwback right there. That
I know, man.
Georgia showcase.
I know. It's been a minute. It was like when I first moved to the Atlanta area, like 2019, somewhere in there, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a throwback. But yeah,
Yeah.
y'all, they do showcases for artists, you know, independent artists. They represent for the independent artists. They put on showcases. You can come, have all your fans pull up, they party. Like it's a real vibe, you know. So if you see a Too Hot Radio event in your area, make sure you pull up to that thing, because it's gonna be lit. For sure.
Sure.
So tell me, what's happening in the future? What you got coming up? Is it a BET weekend award show? Is that was the next gig?
Yeah. So that's the next thing. You know, we got that coming up in a couple weeks this June in LA. Yeah, so we're working on that. And then we actually are going to be following the Beyonce tour as well. You know, that's one of the biggest tours of the summer. So we have you know, we have an opportunity for people all across the country to win all expense paid trip to come into Atlanta and go to the concert, watch Beyonce. Some people will be able to have tickets on front row. Some people will be able to be in the suite we got set up, or just wherever the tickets may be. You know, it's just a lot of opportunities, you know, with that. But then another thing that's coming out in the future as well, I'm not going to speak too much on it, but I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek.
A little sauce.
That, you know, we expanded, you know, we've been working with artists for a long time, but we expanded into the sports. That's going to be our next thing. Okay. So specifically in the area of basketball. So just to give y'all something to look forward to. Any age, if you got any hoopers or anybody that ball from any age, from young to old, get ready, because Too Hot Sports is on the way.
That's nice. And y'all heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? Here first on the Spotlight Series podcast. That's dope, man. I appreciate, you know, what you do for the culture. Like it's just not spoken enough for, like, most radio stations, they only take. But, you know, Too Hot Radio, they give back to the artists, give them platforms. And, you know, it ain't many radio stations that artists get a chance to be the star. So that's a movement. So where you from, man? Where you originally from?
Okay, yeah. So I'm originally from Baltimore. Maryland.
I don't even think I knew that. For some reason, I thought that you was from NC. Well, okay,
Yeah,
man.
that's where I'm at right now. So I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, but originally from Baltimore. Then I lived in Atlanta for about 6 years after Baltimore. Then I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for about 10. So, you know, I've
Okay.
been I've been around.
You've been
I didn't
moving
see.
around. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, definitely. And then I wanted to piggyback on something else you said too earlier about longevity. Is just you mentioned about the fact that what we do at Too High Radio, it's all about, giving and giving back. And I think that's really just a testament to the longevity, because when you come into this industry and your whole goal is to take, it may work for a short period of time, but after a while, people are gonna, reject that. But our whole thing has always been, to give, and it's not about putting us on the spotlight. Even though this the spotlight series, I love it, but really it's about the artists, is about the people that's working with us. Those are the ones that are the stars. So it's like, even with, like, you'll see even like on my IG and stuff like that, I'm not super posting myself every day, everything what I'm doing, because the energy is put towards the project and the platform and the people that's a part of it. So I think that just, helps with the longevity too.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, beware of a brand that's supposed to be a brand, and you got one person all up in the camera, like Suge Knight said on the stage
Right,
at that
right, right.
awards. If you don't want to, if you don't want your producer all up in the cameras in the videos.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So you do your thing behind the scenes, but you also do your thing on them ones and twos. Now I done seen that in person.
Yeah, yeah,
So how
yeah. I mean,
long you been in the DJing, in that realm, that sector?
well, honestly, I became a DJ by accident,
Oh yeah?
really, to be
How's it?
honest. So, I mean, I always was into radio, and I had wanted to be a radio personality coming out of school. So just wanting to be on the radio, I was just always kind of collecting music. So I was collecting music all the time and everything like that. Then one of the first events I did when I first got with Next TV Management, which is one of the companies that owns Too High Radio. Um, this was back in maybe, like, I want to say 07, 08.
Mhm.
We were doing a show, we were doing a concert. I'm not gonna say who it was. I don't want to put nobody on blast part of it. But all I know is that it was an artist that was supposed to show, that showed up like super late. So the artist ended up showing, but then the DJ, for whatever reason, they didn't pay the DJ what the DJ was supposed to make. So the
Wow.
DJ was rocking the crowd, and then I was standing there next to the DJ, and he literally was just like, "Look, I'm about to walk away. Like, I didn't get paid. I got other stuff to do." So, and I know, and I said, me as a DJ, I'll never do this, because it's always about the people. I'll finish the gig no matter what, But he literally got off the turntables and walked away and left
Wow.
it. People in the crowd were just looking. So I literally just got on the turntables, just started playing music. And then I rocked it that night. And then from
Yeah.
then, I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I just started doing more gigs and started learning. At that time, I was completely inexperienced. I couldn't even hook the sound system up right and everything. So, but it was self-taught, and I just kept, doing it. And I developed just another love and passion for, just being a DJ and playing music. And I still, every now and then, hop back into it and everything. So yeah,
Yeah. And then the legend of DJ Outlet was born.
pretty much by
uh,
accident.
that's dope. So I noticed that you do a lot with sales and marketing. Those are big sectors. So tell everybody the importance of of making sure you have your marketing and your sales and your promotions down, on point and everything.
Oh, I mean, that's everything, man. Like, that's everything. No matter what kind of business you're in, like, every business needs marketing and sales. Like, and if you look at any company, no matter how big or small the company, like, whoever's the one that's doing the marketing and the sales, or the marketing and sales teams, they're the ones that always make the most money, because at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line when it comes to business. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter, everything else inside of a business is important, but if you don't have marketing and you don't have sales, you literally don't have a business. So I think that was something that I had to learn starting out, because, you know, I got excited about the music side of it and just being at the events and, you know, the fun stuff, but the business has to be handled. So I engulf myself all the way in it just to learn it and to understand, like, that's the most important part of everything. I mean, even from, you know, like, what does Jay-Z always say? I'm not a businessman, I'm a
A
businessman.
businessman. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, that's just the most important thing. And then it's just a skill that's transferable. Like, for whatever reason, God forbid, if I'm not with Too Hot Radio and I go to somewhere else, you know, that's completely outside the music industry, I have the skills in marketing and sales that I can take what I learned here and utilize that somewhere else. So I feel like if anybody out there, like, if you don't know what to do and you're just trying to make money, you know, get into marketing or get into sales, because that's definitely a transferable skill that you can take wherever you want to go.
Yeah, no doubt. And any company that's in the profit and it's for profit, the business is making money for sure. So that's major aspects when it comes to a business, you know, marketing, sales, promoting. So make sure y'all dot those I's and cross those T's on that for sure.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, like, what do you think is the next or the future of the industry of hip hop? Where do you think hip hop is going as far as tech wise? What do you think happening maybe 5 years down the road with hip hop?
Well, that's a really good question. I know one thing that I was just looking at just this week with you know, Apple, when they just released the whole new vision goggles that they
Yeah,
have. Like, that right there is starting to open my eyes and see, okay, now I'm thinking back to 2020 when we were living in a virtual world. And then now we got these goggles that's coming out and it's just a whole total immersive experience. And I'm thinking about, how does that fit in with entertainment in the music industry? And I mean, I just see that, I see the whole virtual aspect, you know, being even bigger, whether we're in a pandemic or not. You know, I just feel like, you know, if you do a concert, a typical arena might hold 20,000 people. But now, you know, if you have these goggles out in the mass market, you know, now you literally can do a concert in front of millions of people, and you could almost mimic the same experience as if you were there. So even
yeah,
though, you know, right now we watching, we looking on our phones and stuff, you can do streaming, you know, so you can kind of get that experience. But I feel like it's going to be more and more of that feeling of being involved in something when you're not technically physically there. And I think all that's going to do is just going to help continue the artists, especially the artists that remain independent, because now, you know, you have a bigger audience that you can attract. Like, you're not just performing, like I say, in front of just, you know, 20,000 people. You could perform in front of 20 million. Like, it's no limit to it. So I kind of see it going that way. But as far as just music as a whole, you know, you never know, because it just, you know, I'll get surprised by a lot of the trends, the new
yeah.
stuff that comes out. So
I
it's just,
know.
you
It's a lot
know,
of garbage out there with the AI using people's voices and stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy, man.
that's scary. That's
Yeah,
real scary right there. So I think that's
yeah,
just, you know, some of the challenges of how to prove the authenticity of things now, because you can mimic stuff so easily. You can take, you know, data that's out there and translate it and make it into something new. So now it's just, you know, that I think that the music industry is always challenged. And a lot of times what happens is, instead of the music industry itself stepping up to the challenge, they allow the tech industry to decide, okay, this is what the next thing is going to be. So what I would love to see is, just in our industry as a whole, if we, instead of just waiting for what tech is going to do, if we got involved ourselves and we're kind of the leaders when it comes to tech, so that way we can be in control of it. So that way it's not like, okay, we got to do a deal with Spotify, because Spotify is a tech company that came up with this great idea. It's like, why couldn't, you know, Atlantic Records be the one to come up with that idea first? So that's kind of
yeah.
what I see.
If someone wanted to get involved with multimedia, with radio, with helping artists out, like, you know, being some production and labels, what would you tell somebody that's on the come up, even young or old, that maybe they just want to, you know, a career change and get into it? What would you tell them as inspiration to get involved?
Well, I would literally say just start. Just literally get involved some kind of way that you can, no matter what level that is, because everybody knows somebody that's either trying to be a singer, trying to be a rapper, trying to be a producer, trying to make music, trying to do stuff like that. So just start getting involved in the circles of the people that you deal with, and just literally figure out, where your skill set is and what you can bring to the table to help the situation. Because it's like, a lot of people try to go straight to the top and figure out, I want to get on at this place, I want to get on at this level. But like literally with the music and entertainment industry, like you could connect with people that on a smaller level, and y'all can come together and create something big and amazing. Like it's just every month is like a new artist that just blows up, and then it's just like, wow, now they're out there. But imagine if you were there with them, helping them grow, helping them move, and helping them go to that level. So it's just, I would just say, like, literally just get out there and just go for it. Figure
Yeah.
out, what like I say, what your angle is. And because everybody's not going to be good on the stage, everybody's not going to be good in front of the camera. But you literally might be a cameraman, you might be the best cameraman or woman, or you might be the best at putting together production or whatever it is. Just figure out what your passion is within the industry, and then just literally just go after it, connect with people, because it's all about who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. Good words, wise words right there. And man, I've been wondering about this with Versus, because you remember Versus came around when the pandemic was going on and it was really big and popular. And then they sold it, and now to you, do it seem like it's like not what it was when they sold it to Triller?
Yeah, it's definitely not the same. And I would say part of the reason why it's just not the same is just because the world is in a different place. Like what made Versus so good at that time is because everybody was stuck in the house, everybody couldn't go out. There wasn't no, it wasn't no clubs open like that, except for maybe Atlanta. Atlanta was still popping,
For
but
sure.
most places all over the world, everybody was kind of just stuck in. So that kind of just came at a time where, everybody needed it and everybody was looking for it. And now you fast forward to 2022, and today it's like everybody's kind of back to normal for the most part. Everybody's doing shows in person and everything. So I think that plays a big part into it. But then I always feel like anytime, you know, you change owners' hands with something, it's going to be different. Like even
Yeah.
the original BET before it got sold to Viacom and to Paramount, that was a lot different than what you see today. So it's always, anytime a company like that is sold or it changes hands and stuff like that, then it's not going to be the same as it was. So, but sometimes different is good, sometimes different is not good. So it
Yeah.
just, I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
For sure. And you know what it reminds me of, man, is when back when slavery was going on and slavery ended, and they gave black people the 40 acres and the mule. And from what I've been hearing, just research and just been hearing, we turned around and sold our land right back to them, and now we ain't got no land. So
Mhm.
it brings me to a point to where we, as a black community, black culture, black people, I feel like we need to hold on to ownership of things as much as possible. Like I see a lot of people selling they album royalties, and selling the rights to their music and their catalogs and stuff. And you getting paid, you getting major money, but when you want to think, I think we don't think about generational wealth as much as other races do. Like right now, it may sound great to sell your catalog and make a quick 20 mil, but if you were to hold on to that catalog and you can feed your family for generations upon generations upon generations. Now you might could do that with that 20 million, but it might get blowed too.
Yeah, yeah, and I,
It
and I
might get
think that
blown.
that's I think that's the biggest point, because other cultures build companies to sell them. Like there's literally like that's like a formula, like built to sell. like your whole purpose of going into, some people's whole purpose of going into a company is not to hold it forever,
to sell it,
build it to a certain point and then sell it. But the key is once you get that payout, what are you going to do with it? Like that, I think that's the issue that we have.
You're right.
That we'll take that and then we'll just, instead of investing in other assets that can grow the wealth,
right,
we give it away and put it in liabilities, or just buy a whole bunch of stuff that we really don't need. So I definitely think what you're saying is right. And then but also it's just, okay, if we're gonna build something and sell it, like what are we gonna do with the money once we sell it?
Yeah, no doubt. That's great. You got to have a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail all day.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, all right, man. Just in case we didn't get this, what's your IG handle, man?
Oh yeah, so it's DJ Outlet Radio. Once again, DJ Outlet Radio on Instagram, and then also Too Hot Radio. Like I say, I'm real influential on what gets posted there. So, you can connect with me on either one of those platforms for sure.
Dope, man. Well, I appreciate you, man, for stopping through the Spotlight Series podcast, man. Wishing you light and love, bro, and blessings on everything you do and put your hands on, man. And we signing out, y'all. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you, for sure.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Spotlight Series podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. You can follow on Facebook, Spotlight Series Podcast, on IG, spotlight.series1. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and stream on all podcast listening platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.